You know what? It's because it's not part of a series. I don't have to start off. I guess I'll just start off. So yeah, so we're here with Madam Lilac. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for coming.
No worries. So where I want to start off with you, Elaine, is I was thinking this. I actually don't know if I actually found out the answer to this, but obviously with your name, Lilac Skies, and you dress very lilac-y. Did the outfits
purple skirt right now.
Did the outfits come before the name, or the name inspired the outfits?
So basically, I've always liked purple.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was like 15, I started a Tumblr account called Getting High on Lilac Skies.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because just like I was a teenager and it was the Tumblr time, and it's just like an escapism. Mm-hmm. And then after just posting on Tumblr, I started posting on Instagram. It's also called Getting High on Lilac Skies.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like I posted like pictures of like purple skies, like, purple things, like I don't know. And then I would write like a caption that's like a long like journal entry or something, or just like a poem. And then like for my music, I also wanted to call it Getting High on Lilac Skies, but I knew that the name was too long for people to remember, especially if they just like hear me at like a gig or an open mic. So I just shortened it down to Lilac Skies. And then I wear purple because it's like the color is like the branding. So
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's kind of like both.
Yeah.
Both came first.
The chicken and they both inspired each other. Okay. And I guess for you, right, so obviously we spoke a bit before, the last one, but you see like someone who's quite classically trained in music and stuff like this, right? In terms of like, the correct way, some people like to call it, in terms of playing music. So you obviously play guitar at your shows and stuff like that. But then the music you make is a very, hard turn to that. So when I was going through kind of doing my research on you, I was wondering like, okay, what were your inspirations? Also, you seem to be a big fan of Lana Del Rey, and I also get a lot of Olivia Rodrigo in your work. Are these like people that you listen to?
I actually don't listen to Olivia Rodrigo, but people say like some of my songs like are similar to her. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's kind of funny. It is, because like for example, I grew up doing grades in like PIPA, like I completed all my grades, or like piano, like RAAM, or like APRSM grades, and then like I learned music theory and stuff, but then sometimes I feel like I throw all of that out the window when I'm writing.
It feels like a lot of people have that, where it's a thing where, especially a lot of people I know who are classically trained, or people when you look at people's stories, like I think the person who used to produce for Childish Gambino, Ludwig Göransson or something like that, when they're so used to playing music the right way, they feel like they're in a box and they just want to kind of just break out of it. Yeah. Do you relate to that?
Yeah, because like even like learning cadences, like this chord should go to this chord, it should be resolved in this chord. But actually I find that like especially with pop songs, you have to do stuff that doesn't exactly follow the pattern, and that's how you make it like stuck in someone's head, like that's how you make it catchy. Yeah. Because if it's too like obvious, then it's not catchy.
Well, it makes sense.
But I definitely think it helps though.
So with your inspirations, I know Lana Del Rey was like one of your most listened to on Spotify a couple of times. So.
I think, it's very weird. I think the past like 5 years, the people who are always the constant top 5 would be Lana, Kanye, Kendrick, and then there's artist called Loewe. Yeah, she's kind of jazzy, and she's great. Like Arctic Monkeys. It's kind of weird.
I think it kind of makes sense because because I think these people in their respective genres, they're kind of eclectic, right? Because even as famous as Kendrick is, he's not the typical. He doesn't make the music that's kind of typical of today as well, right? So and it feels like that's kind of what you're going for as well, to an extent.
Oh my god, comparing me to Kendrick?
Not in the sense that I think you are trying to make music that's unique to yours, trying to stand out. It's not just what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because I feel like if I wanted to, it's so easy just to follow like a popular like chord progression, and then just like I wish my stuff wasn't so autobiographical, because everyone's like, who's that song about, whatever. But yeah, I don't know, it was a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like is
that something you worry about with music, like people asking you for the content or the history behind music?
Every time I play a new song I wrote for my band or whatever, they'd be like, who's that about? And I do feel like in my shows, like before I sing a song, I kind of introduce a little bit of context. But I don't know if that's like a sustainable thing to do.
Then what's the worry? Is it more just, I guess, people knowing about your life in a personal sense, or what's the barriers you're trying to uphold?
I mean, now it's kind of like become a pattern. Like they know that every song has some backstory that relates, or that I'm directly writing into a song.
Of course, yeah.
So maybe in the future, if I'm trying to deny and be like, no, that's not true, people aren't going to believe me.
Yeah. But like a lot of artists do that though, right? In terms of like, you gotta leave up to interpretation. They do like cool things.
Yeah,
right?
but I don't do that.
Yeah.
So maybe I should start.
No, I think it's good. I mean, I think the best music is the honest ones, right? So.
Yeah, I think it's honest, but I don't know if I need to like do a breakdown like I'm on Genius every time I perform it.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I get that. So, with that being said, we could tie it into when you dropped your first single in October last year.
Wow.
When you first got your Spotify, like being on Spotify.
Yeah.
I think it was Preferences. That was your first one, right? So, talk to me about that. Like, what was the feelings behind that when you were dropping your first single?
It's weird because I've actually like been writing songs since I was like 9 or 7. So before I dropped it, I always thought I would kind of do it in like chronological order, or I'd go into the archives. But that song I kind of just wrote on the spot because it was very topical at the time. And then I just put it out, and it was mainly like the reason I dropped it in October was because I was having such an existential crisis. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm turning 25. I haven't even done the thing that I most want to do in life. So I like announced it on my birthday. Yeah, and I like rushed to like get it produced. But yeah, yeah, and like looking back, it's kind of crazy because it's such a vulnerable song to be my first song, and like I shared it with like on my own personal Instagram page and everything, so it's kind of weird having my friends like hear that because it you know what I mean,
it's a different side to you, right, in terms of your music. I was gonna say, do you feel like, you know, you can be with someone just off personality? I mean, that's always the question people always debate. I want to know what your take is. Like, is personality enough, or do you need more than that?
Used to think it was, but after being on the other side where they like that was the only thing that was like attracted to them, I feel like no, because I feel like if you need to be in a romantic relationship with someone, you have to have also the like at least a little bit of a physical attraction or stuff, or else, you know, like what's the difference between you and a friend? Yeah,
makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, it feels like, you know, the nerves of dropping your first single didn't get to you dropping your second single, which was Make Love Songs Not War Songs, if I'm correct. That's your second single, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that one, this is the one where I was reading the lyrics and I was trying to figure out again what you were kind of getting at here, but I want you to kind of expand more on it, because it feels like this is one of the songs that have, like, it's out of your EP, the one that has the most kind of messaging to it. So I was going to ask you personally, what was the angle you're going for when making this song?
Can I just ask what your interpretation of the song was?
So when I was thinking, it almost feels like, honestly, I don't know. It feels like you're talking about a person, or it more feels like you're talking about maybe how people would perceive others. I'm not sure. That's the thing. I wasn't too sure on which one I kind of sat with. But yeah.
The thing about me is that, like, I feel like you don't need to go too deep. Like, what I say is literally what it is. Like, so basically, I wrote the song when I was with someone who was a drug addict.
Right, okay.
And they were just doing drugs every day and, like being close to overdosing and, like, going into the hospital, going to rehab, whatever. And I was looking up articles online for how to deal with someone who is, like, who has a drug addiction. And they said, something that really stuck with me was, you need to sing them love songs and not war songs. As in, like, you need to, approach it in, like, a loving way, instead of just being like, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing this? Like, you're ruining everything. So the main point of the song was, like, I've been trying to sing you love songs, but, like, just talking about how hard it is. Like, it starts with, like, every time you sniff, I go stiff. Yeah. Or... kind of like talking about why it affects me and triggers me so much. Like I say, like, I told you my past, why'd you make it so hard? And like, yeah, so I don't know, that was also a very personal song. I think, to drop as a second song. But yeah, I think when I first started performing that song, whenever I get to the bridge, I'd feel kind of uncomfortable because I do talk about like my mom and my brother and stuff. And even he heard the song, he was like, I like your voice and stuff, but he was like, did you talk about me in the bridge? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if the shoe fits, like.
I mean, that's another thing we can kind of pivot to as well. Obviously, for those like reading, obviously I'll put this on the thing. Obviously, your title EP is Confessions of a Femme.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, you're being quite vulnerable in one, being a femme, two, not being straight. Like, I think your family listening to this. Like, how do you manage that? Is that something that you kind of dealt with ahead of time? Like, okay, you know what, guys, look, I'm going to say some wild shit, especially on the first track, but it's okay. Like, how do you manage that?
I actually haven't, so.
Okay, fair enough.
They're gonna have to discover it themselves. But I did like think at the time, like, oh, if I put this like these songs out, maybe I'll never be able to like work in a really corporate job or like become, I don't know, president or anything.
That's it. Become president.
Out the window. Yeah. So I did struggle with that a bit, but there's this like Kierkegaard quote that I really like. It's like, do it or don't do it, you'll regret both. And I realized that I will regret not putting out my music and just living like a very like calm, normal, secure, safe life, as opposed to putting out my music and then not being able to do like, I don't know, proper jobs or like having whatever recognition later on. Like I would, you know what I mean? Like if I'm on my deathbed, that's what I would be more annoyed by. Than just like putting out some raunchy songs.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think we build these things up in our heads so much, where like, oh my gosh, like if I do this, then this is gonna happen. It's like, well, we have no idea until it happens, right?
Yeah, but I mean, at the time, I was like a teacher for kids, so I was like, I need to quit this job and then drop it, and like I just quit the job because I was like, even though it was a very like safe job that I've been pretty good at for a while, I was like, my main thing in life is my music, so I'm not gonna not put out music just for a job. So
respect that. Let's talk about that song MGH. Right, because this is again it feels again, and again we spoke about it a little bit off by in terms of the like Olivia Rodrigo and stuff like that, but this feels like a very intentionally in your face song to kind of start the EP, and that EP kind of ends the same way. Is that intentional in that way to kind of like? It feels like the start and end of the EPs are it's very like in your face. I'm on, and in the middle is very like personal and kind of somber and reflective. Was that intentional?
I definitely intended for MGH to be the first song because the title of the EP is called Confessions of a Femme. So I think the first line of MGH is a confession, like, I like to eat out dykes. Like, it's definitely very on theme. And then, I don't know, to be honest, like, I wish I could be like, oh, I'm like Kendrick Lamar, it's a conceptual album. But to be honest, I just wanted to end the EP with a banger, so I chose I'm Obsessed. But you could think of it as like kind of like a little loop. Like it's easier if you're listening on loop, like going from I'm Obsessed to MGH is kind of the same style. Yeah. But I want to hear what your first impression, like, did you listen to the whole thing together?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your first impression of MGH?
It definitely threw me off. Because I think the first song I heard of yours was Preference, right? So getting into the EP, I was kind of expecting more of that song. So when I heard that, I was like, wow, this is super different. And obviously it's coming from a point of view that I can't relate to, right? So I think it's more when you're saying certain terms, I'm like, well, I don't even know what that even means. I think there was even one I wrote down. Actually, funny enough, you said that. It was, hold on. You said, I was like, what's a touch me not? I don't know what a touch me not is.
Okay, so a touch me not is a masculine lesbian who only likes to be the giver, who likes to top. They don't like to be touched at all.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sometimes they're even like still clothed.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
I learned something new today.
Yeah.
And do you feel like there isn't a lot of, and I think obviously I'm kind of an example of this, but do you feel like in the worlds of femmes there's more stories to be said? Like, do you feel it's something that people aren't really like aware of, and this is like an EP like that does that, or like how do you feel that?
Definitely. Like, I think obviously in the male spaces, like, so many male rappers talk about fucking bitches, whatever.
Yeah.
And then more recently there's been women artists like Cardi B and stuff, Nicki Minaj, etc., or Azealia Banks. I love her. But I think there isn't that much for like lesbian representation. Like, even for example Chaperone, she's like, she wants to drink red wine, but that's very like metaphorical.
Yeah.
Or even Billie Eilish kind of like tiptoeing and being like, I want it for lunch, or like, I want to see the color of your underwear. Or Fletcher just saying stuff like like mentioning a peach, or saying that she kissed a girl. But I feel like maybe because I do listen to a lot of rap, especially like by male artists.
Yeah.
I do kind of have that mentality, and I also feel like, especially, I haven't heard many songs from the femme perspective of lesbian sex. Like, there's Young Ma, who is like a masculine lesbian, but I personally haven't heard many yet from a feminine side. And it's not just that, I actually am passionate about giving masked girls head, and I've always written about what I'm passionate about. But yeah, I don't know, like, did you have a picture when you were listening to the song?
Not one I could conjure up that could cover this interview, but not really. I mean,
did you feel like educated? Like, what was your take?
I mean, definitely educated. Because I was like, oh, is this how a femme would feel? Obviously, it's called Confessions of a Femme, not Confessions of a Lesbian, right? So
yeah,
it did make me wonder, oh, is this how would a lot of femmes would relate to this? So obviously I have no idea on that, so that's the question I need to answer.
I don't know yet. I like I think because I said like, I'm not a pillow princess, so that's another term in the lesbian community.
Yeah, I know that one as well.
Yeah, where it's just like a femme who just is lying down on the pillow and not doing anything. So no shade to them, but it's just personally like, I'm so like, my favorite thing is to give masked girls head. So I don't know how many people are gonna relate to me, but I think it's okay.
But then, yeah, I mean, the point is for it to reach the right people, right? So
yeah,
and we can transition from there to when you did your first show in Camden with your guitarist. Her name's Joanna, right? So talk to me, how did you and Joanna link up?
We actually both met at this music networking event. It's called Amplify Her, so it's like all women artists. And it's funny because like, we were like mingling, drinking, whatever, and I heard her talking to someone else, and she said that she was a bassist. And in my mind I was like, I need to somehow get over to her and like recruit her, or not recruit her, but like connect with her. And then she said that at the same time she was talking to other people, and they were like, oh, what genres do you play? And she was like, oh, all these different genres. And then someone was like, you should talk to that girl called Lilac Skies, because she does different genres. And then we did start talking, and then we were just like, let's just meet up, because you know me, I'm like, pull up your calendar right now, because I'm like so serious. I'm like, no, like, we actually need to meet up. And then we just did a few open mics together, and I think it worked really well because so many people in the artistic space are just so like flaky kind of, or they say all these things they want to do, but they don't actually do it. And I think the good thing about her is that like, she was very like proactive, and as was I, and we did everything. Like, we did like 3 busking sessions where we made 0 money.
I think there was even one where it was raining, right?
Oh my god, you did your research. Yeah, that was horrific. Like even our socks and underwear were wet. But yeah, like we would go busking and make no money, or like go to open mics, or she said once she played at a bar where there were only 2 people. And her band had like 4 people, but then the 2 people got up and left, so they were only playing for the bar manager. But like, I think it's really important to find someone who's so like into it as you. So I think that's why we worked really well together. And now I'm actually forming a band. So we've gotten a drummer, and a lead guitarist. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And again, talk to me about when you're first performing these songs. So again, I think I got right. It was the Fiddler's Elbow. You did back-to-back shows at there. So yeah. How was that? Was that the first time performing these songs on stage, or was there a time before this?
I've definitely performed love songs and war songs, Preference, So Fucking Cool, etc. like open mics. I can't remember. I think the Fiddler's Elbow might have been the first time I performed MGH and I'm Obsessed. Right. But it was okay because since we were headlining, I got a lot of my friends to come.
I think it was the first head on the 9th, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like our first gig and we happened to be the headliners. But so it was easier because it was all my friends that were there, and most of them knew I was a lesbian, and you know, it's just a more comfortable space to perform it. But there have been times where we performed that song in like a pub that's just like straight men, and they're like, what's going on? Yeah. So sometimes it is kind of nerve-wracking. Like you do still have to like feel out the vibe if it is like an LGBT friendly space and stuff. Or even if it is, most of the time they're not prepared for me to be so explicit. And even my dancing is kind of very performative of the act. So I think they're very surprised because I look quite innocent, especially when I'm singing songs like Preference, and then I finish with those songs. Yeah, but it's always fun. I think most people like it.
Yeah. I think it's a good time. I think especially after, let's say, a few shots, you're just kind of chilling. If you really kind of broken into the world that is Lilac Skies, it makes more sense. Especially, but like once you've heard MGH, I think I'm Obsessed will be easier and vice versa.
Yeah. It's funny because like we always like go from MGH to I'm Obsessed, but even though MGH is more explicit, by the time you listen to I'm Obsessed, you're like, oh, this is so PG. But if you actually just listen to I'm Obsessed on its own, you wouldn't think
Exactly.
Yeah. Go from 100 to 0.
And it's only been about 3 months or so since your EP's been out. How's the reception been since it's come out? How do you feel now that you had a project out? I know one thing you kind of struggled with is like, I need to do what I'm saying I'm going to do. And obviously now you've done it. I think last year, I think there was even a calendar where you circled around, I think it was like the 25th or so, like this needs to be out. I think it was the 15th or something. And now you've got them out, now you've built out to an EP and now that's out. Do you feel like you've kind of gone over that hump a little bit?
Yeah, it's annoying because it took me like a month to actually get it out because I posted it, but because I wrote my name in all caps instead of non-caps, my distribution posted it to another account on Spotify, and it took ages to delete and then re-upload. So that was kind of like I did my EP release gig and it was like climax, and then it just went down, and then it was hard to build up traction. But I was so proud of myself when it finally was released on my actual account, and it's just good because now like. Because oftentimes when we perform, they're like, oh, I want to stream I'm Obsessed, but it's not out yet. But yeah, like now that it's out, I just feel like I fully kind of burnt the ships, burnt the bridges, so now I can just fully commit. But I think I'm gonna do more promo and like stuff like that for the deluxe of the song. Of the EP. But yeah, it's weird. Like and I feel like it's truly me because when I just released Preference and Love Songs Not War Songs, it was like me putting my toe in, but like still being afraid to like fully show everything. But now that it's out there, it's like actually out there.
I was saying, what's the reception been like since it's been out?
I think people like it. It's weird though, because like there isn't like a consensus on the most popular song. Right. Like different people like different songs.
That's a good sign, by the way.
Isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah. Because then it means like you have like a variety that people can go back to. It's not just one song. You're not going to remember for one song, right? I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's good that my EP of 5 songs are all different genres. Like, I don't know if that's good or not. That's
a bad thing. I think sometimes when you're new, you have to kind of show people what you're capable of. Or, okay, here's me in a short kind of condensed form. So when you do, maybe you have an album down the road that's more channeled on one of those things, they know where it kind of came from, right? Like, for example, there's a rapper called JID. Who,
I love him.
So he sings a lot as much as he raps, right? So sometimes when he dropped his first album, he had songs where he was just singing, just straight up singing. So when he's now doing it 8 years later, and a lot of new fans are like, what the hell? But then it makes sense for those fans because they kind of seen him do this the whole time. So when he's making certain type of like gospel-y songs or more relaxed songs, you saw the evolution of it because he always did it, you know? So I think it'll be the same with you. So like, let's say in 5 years' time, you make a song similar to NGH, but then it wasn't on your music maybe 3 years before that, people will be like, oh no, she has done that before. Yeah. Go back to her first EP.
They go into the discography, see the receipts.
Exactly. So it kind of it's like an honest kind of track of like, oh, here's kind of like her musical kind of like colour, as I call it.
But even for you, like someone who listened to Preference and liked it, I feel kind of bad that like you go into EP, you expect more songs like that, and then you don't.
No, that's because it's a single, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I think singles don't have to be, this is what the album's like. I don't think that's how it should be at all.
Yeah. I don't know. Like the deluxe for the EP are also going to have a few other genres in it. But like I met this girl called Lexi Leo. She's this.
Yeah,
do you know her?
Yeah. I saw that you posted when you met her.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, should I do different genres or stick to one? She's like, definitely do different genres. But I think the difference is like other artists will have like a project for a different genre instead of putting them all in one small project. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, with that being said, I think we're kind of teetering on that question, but what type of artist do you want to be known as?
I think I want, because all my songs, like, not all of them, but a big part of like writing songs for me is got to do with love, etc. And I would like to be the gap in the scene for like lesbian artists that are femme or that write more like personal or explicit songs, and also just like I actually just treat it like my personal journal. So like people who like songs that are like really vulnerable and like autobiographical. Yeah.
And again, you already kind of teased that the deluxe is coming out. I guess post Confessions, what should we expect from Lilac Skies?
Ooh. Post Confessions. So is that including or not including the deluxe?
Not including
the deluxe. I'm gonna kind of move a little bit towards like more personal songs as opposed to like romantic relationship songs. So some songs that are family themed.
Okay.
Yeah. And then kind of it's still gonna have like different genres like ballads or rock, metal. But yeah. So I don't know how that's gonna go because it's a little bit different to the whole lesbian theme. But I do just want to put out like songs that I actually like authentically feel, and like that's like the whole point I started my Tumblr and my Instagram page. So yeah. And
at the end of this interview, is there any final words you want to say, or is there anyone you would like to shout out or say hello
to? Let me think. I definitely want to thank Joanna because I feel like if she didn't push me to do the open mics and stuff, I wouldn't like be brave enough or even to play guitar in front of people. And then all of my music inspirations. Oh my gosh, I didn't prepare this question. I'd like to thank my sister, Annie. She's gone to every single, not every single, but like most open mics and performances and everything, which is really nice to have like a supporter and someone that believes in you. And just everyone in the world that inspires people to do what they want to do. Because I feel like if I didn't have role models like them, I definitely wouldn't like quit my easy corporate job to put out songs that like I have not made money from yet.
That's fair. It's a big risk, but I respect it. Yeah.